It's a review of this Instant Solo coffee maker. Been playing around with it a little bit today. You receive the coffee maker. You also receive this pod so that you can make your own grinds in the machine. And it's similar to a Keurig. I've used Keurigs for years. You have a water tank in the back, and you have your selections here where you can choose 3 separate cup sizes. And in addition to that, you can choose a cup to be bold, so it appears that just brews it a little bit slower. When using your own grounds, you would put them in here, put this lid on top of it, place that in here, close it up, and it must have some type of switch to know you're using that because it seems to change the speed that it brews. Besides that, a K-Cup, just business as usual. And when you choose to brew, you would turn it on. And I generally have been using bold, which once again just slows things down a little bit. And I select a cup size. Now I'm going to start it on 8 ounce while I continue talking. So in the instructions, they give you some different advice. They're worth reading. Here's how you can change some of the sound settings in case they annoy you. And there's also some important information in here about altitude mode. So I don't have to worry about that. I'm not that high up and such. But there's good things to read in here. And it tells you about the initial cleaning and how you're supposed to clean it. So to clean it, I essentially was just running water through it a bunch of times. And I also did manually clean it out with some dish soap. When you fill it up, the water tank is on the back. The lid is really flimsy. I'm not a fan of that. So depending how much you have access to the back of this, you might just pour water in here as opposed to removing the whole tank. And for that, it would be nice if they gave you some form of little handle on top of here. So, I might work something out like that. But if you remove this to fill it, what you have to do is you put your hand and you pinch here and you lift up on this. And it's a little bit slippery. And I generally fill mine in the refrigerator. So that's what I will do. It has a max line. It looks like these are increments of about 10 ounces. So this would be 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups, maybe 4 cups. I tested it and I got 3 solid cups out of it. So I am going to let it finish brewing here, and what I'm going to show you, and the reason I have the measuring cup is, in my playing around, what I have found is 8 ounces actually uses 10 ounces of water. 10 ounces actually uses 12 ounces of water. I'm not sure for the reason of that. Maybe some of it they expect gets absorbed by the grinds, but compared to my Keurig, no. When the Keurig, the Keurig's not labeled with how many ounces it uses, but on my Keurig over here, I always used, and this is like 15 years old, I always used my medium cup size, which was perfect for this. But using this new guy, I'm going to be using the 8 ounce settings, which if you look carefully right now on this measuring cup, right, this line is 8 ounces and this is 12. So you see that 8 ounce brew was just about 10 ounces, which is not a problem. It just means that my coffee cup, I'm now going to use the 8 ounce and I'm going to use bold. So I have no other comments except you actually heard it. It is quieter than the Keurig, and it actually brews much slower. And I think the reason it brews slower is I think the Keurig has an internal water tank where it has all the water sitting in. It heats that up, and then it's able to brew faster. This seems to, brew the water much slower, but not that big of a deal. And so far I like it. It's much quieter than what I'm used to. The cord is about the right length. Cord's a little stiff. I wish it was a little bit softer. I'm going to play around with it. I actually have to run out and get some fresh coffee grinds, and I'll put some more comments in my written review.